let's see, page 31. Okay, this is the poem that follows. That follows Dishes, and it too has an epigraph. It's from Oscar Wilde, whose name came up this morning. They put their heads on one side and looked wise, which is quite as good as understanding a thing, and very much easier. The birthday of the Infanta, and that is filed. What happened this summer? A door slams. What is the message of the door? I ask in the dark. You don't know, and I don't know either. But now, I tell you it meant goodbye. From the shadows we made on the road, longer than Giacometti's women, hooked shadows and no eclipse of our bodies, light points. Above, ordinary stars in a late moon. A few fireflies on the road, you said, look and look. Okay, this book is called Trans. This is 3 books ago, and this book has had a good run. A little hubris to call a book a partial word, trans, but the book is built up in the several meanings of the combination of the prefix trans in other language. On page 54 in this book is a little poem called Women and Men. Women and Men. Can you hear me? Yeah. Women have babies, or can decide not to use the miraculous machinery. Women walk downtown holding their daughters' hands, or can, if they're inclined, each generation adding a link to the chain. Women can work, or not, at the blessed, repetitive tasks of the body, cleansing their flesh of the blood flow, a tender care required in whatever spirit at regular intervals. Women were girls, like boys, fast across the meadow, diving into the pond, or carrying morning after morning the heavy buckets of salt water caught up from the animal sea. Blessed bone, ribs like his, flat brown belly, small nipples, and the growing muscles of the shoulders to lift. Women out for a walk cross paths with men, holding red dogs on a leash who strain and bark. Hi, sweetie, calls a woman, smiling on the small Irish setter dropping down to dog height at a distance. A man walks on, pulling the leash taut against the straining dog, smiles on the dog. The woman walks on, slowly approaching the pair, her palm turned outward toward the dog. The man tugs, the dog skids on the twilight pavement, still hot from the day. He would jump on you, the man says. He'd love to jump on you. The woman walks past, smiling. I'd be afraid, she says. I'd be very afraid. The book Trans depends on looking at some stereotypes of the binary male-female. And we talked in our seminar a little bit about the dangers of the binary, a particular paradigm that the 20th century grew increasingly fond of. The 21st century makes more concession to either the marginal or the blurred, the hybrid, as I do in this book. But I wanted to read you that poem that sets up some of the more prevalent stereotypes about women and men in a double or even a triple spirit. The grappling is always with gender in this book.